Ladies and gentlemen, has Bikini Bottom frozen over? Has SpongeBob turned to a popsicle? Because what is going on out here, right? We have some rumors, updates, leaks, news, and apparently February is going to be like the craziest month in Nintendo history. I'm not so convinced, but the news is pretty enticing, so let's go ahead and get right into this video. So over the past 72 hours, news has been coming out left and right, so much that you can't really keep up with it, but I've done my best job to put pretty much every big announcement, rumor, update, leak in this video, and I'm not so sure how I feel about it all. Like, a Nintendo Direct happening this week, a partner showcase, sure. Some other stuff we're gonna go over, almost too good to be true, but you know, I'm one of those people who are kind of leaning towards it happening just because I want it to happen. So we'll see, but this video is pretty crazy. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing, and let's go ahead and get right into this one. So what I want to do and what I like to do is start with some of the smaller updates first. We got to talk about a new handheld console coming allegedly this year, and it's from one of the biggest gaming companies. Now, you might think, is this Nintendo with a new Switch 2 variant? Not yet. What I'm talking about is a new PlayStation handheld, and not the handheld we're all waiting for. A new version of the PlayStation Portal. Allegedly, a PlayStation Portal OLED model is releasing this year. Cool, I guess. To be honest though, I don't understand why Sony is even focusing on the Portal instead of just like using those resources and all that work in a native PlayStation handheld, which would actually be able to compete with Nintendo. I bought a PlayStation Portal, I bought into the hype. I enjoyed it for like the first week, and then every time it would get an update, it would work worse and worse. The Wi-Fi would never connect. I just had a bunch of issues with it, so I actually sold it. Now I know there's been a couple substantial updates since then, and people really seem to enjoy it. So this is cool, I guess, that it's getting an OLED model, but is it really that cool? Now a question we've all had is, where is YouTube on the Switch 2? And to be honest, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, I don't develop apps or games, so I don't know what it takes to get this running on another console, but I probably have like 1,500 hours on YouTube on my Switch, maybe even more than that. I use it all the time, so it just doesn't make sense why we don't have like any way to watch anything on the Switch 2. No Hulu, no Crunchyroll, no YouTube. So YouTube on the Switch 2 has felt long forgotten. They said they were working on it, then we heard nothing. There is a rumor right now though, coming from a moderator of YouTube's actual Discord, saying that YouTube for the Switch 2 is finally coming this month. I wonder if this does happen, would they put this in a partner showcase? Like, hey, we're partnering with YouTube to get this on the Switch 2. So it's in this presentation that you have been waiting for. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope this is just a random, Twitter post late at night or something, but we need this to happen so I can watch some stuff on my Nintendo Switch 2. Speaking of the Nintendo Switch 2, if you don't have one yet, anytime I find a deal on the consoles, I like to mention it. And at Micro Center currently, the Nintendo Switch 2 is only $399. So it's $50 off the full price if you have a membership. But that membership is 100% free, and you can ship this all over. And then I think they have other coupons that you can get just by signing up something and take like an extra 5% off that as well. So in case you're in the market for a Nintendo Switch 2, I just want to mention this quickly. Now that we've got some smaller updates out of the way, what is going on here, right? Every time I'm opening my phone, opening Twitter, Reddit, just the craziest announcements possible. A lot of them are rumors, but still, it's like, where the hell is this information coming from? One of them, I think, is true. God, who was the original source? It was like a movie Twitter account or something, but a Metroid movie is in development currently. Sure, I could see that happening. Now Nintendo has their own Nintendo Pictures, like Nintendo Studios, so it could be animated, or maybe they're going to do something with DreamWorks, or maybe they'll do something with Sony like they are with the Zelda movie. I'm not really sure. Do they do live action here? I mean, that actually would be kind of cool, if they can pull it off. Regardless, I think this is going to be interesting. Seeing them do a Metroid movie actually, fills me with a lot of hope for the Metroid series moving forward, because why invest, $100 million into a movie or whatever it cost if Metroid Prime as a franchise is going to be dead with Metroid Prime 4? Like, that's going to be at the end of it. It didn't sell good. It wasn't received the way they wanted. yeah, we're just going to move on and only keep it 2D Metroid. If they're doing a Metroid movie, I just don't think that's the case. So this gives me a lot of hope for the future of Metroid. The number one question everybody's asking is, who should be the voice actor or play the character of Samus? And really, there's only one answer here. And if Nintendo doesn't pick this person, it's just a missed opportunity. And who I'm talking about is Brie Larson, a great actress who is a die-hard Nintendo fan. So much evidence of this, and I'm pretty sure they even said Metroid is like their favorite Nintendo franchise. So it just seems like the stars are aligning for her to actually play Metroid. So that would be really interesting if that does play out. But this is cool, man. I just hope Nintendo keeps making movies because they seem to be pretty good at it. So once the rumor started, we started asking ourselves, what kind of Nintendo Direct are we going to get? Because the first party games we've got so far on the Switch 2 are cool, but nothing to make you buy a Switch 2. And isn't that the whole point of releasing games for your console, to get people to buy the console? So it just seems like a lot of missed opportunities. I know it's going to have a huge install base. You know, early adopters are going to buy it, so you could take some chances there because they're going to buy the console anyway. But what are we doing here, right? We need something big. So everybody's thinking, well, that next Nintendo Direct, first party, let's get some cool games out there, let's get this generation rolling. But it just does not seem to be the case. Or maybe it does, but we'll talk about that later. So VGC, Nate the Hate, a bunch of credible sources are saying this week we're getting a partner showcase. And I'm actually excited for that. I love playing third-party games on my Switch 2. I think it's amazing that we can play these games finally portably on the go on a Nintendo console, natively. Very exciting stuff, and the possibilities truly are endless at this point. Maybe we see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in that partner showcase, because allegedly I'm hearing stuff that it's going to launch this summer, which would be actually crazy on the Switch 2. I mean, I just don't know how Square Enix can pull it off, but with the quality of remake, I'm not going to question it. There's a lot of other stuff I would like to see, but then there's games that we know about that we haven't heard much about, like Duskbloods, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. So that partner showcase I think is going to be cool. It's going to clear up some stuff we're wondering, but I would really like some really big surprises there. Not 10-year-old ports, you know what I mean? Like Fallout 4, cool, that's coming. But I could play that on like 50 other consoles. So I want something to make you go, whoa, I can play this on the Switch too. Or games that we thought we would get on the Switch that never made an appearance. It's kind of open to interpretation right now, right? But we're getting a partner showcase on February 5th. Cool. Not a bad way to start the month. Now, we know we're also getting a Pokemon Presents this month. I think Pokemon Day is February 27th, I think. Kind of an important day if you're a Pokemon fan, but the day after that is probably the most important day of the entire year. Let's just be factual here, right? That is my birthday, February 28th. Mark it on your calendars, put it down, save the date. It's just important for you to know. But yeah, Pokemon Day, February 27th, I think. People are wondering, is a Pokemon Presents going to be the same day? Yeah, probably, but we don't know for sure, or do we? We have a leak coming out of Brazil that lists the next Pokemon Presents at February 27th, 11 a.m. Brazil time. I don't know what time that would be here in America. Regardless, February 27th seems like the date that is locked in for that Pokemon Presents. Normally, I don't care about these presentations. It is the easiest way to be let down if you're a Pokemon fan or you're looking for something exciting. It never happens, right? This year is a little different for a couple of reasons. I've seen a bunch of rumors that some classic Pokemon games are finally going to Nintendo Online. I have a million other ways to play these games on my Game Boy Advance, on my DS, on this little emulator console I have. I can play these games a million other ways, so I don't really care that much. But for the people who are waiting to play these games, I'm excited for them. Now, something I'm definitely looking forward to is Generation 10 of Pokemon. Right now, the rumor is Pokemon Winds and Waves. Sounds cool, and some of this actually is coming from really credible places like those Terra leaks, where Game Freak had a bunch of stuff leaked out saying it's going to be in like the Southeast Asian islands. We've seen some weird Pikachu animation where he's like made out of jelly almost. There's going to be some procedurally generated islands. There's going to be a lot going on. What's really interesting about this will be the first Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon game. I think Pokemon Legends Yay was fun. I think it's a one and done for me. And I have a bunch of Pokemon games that I've played a million times over and over, even some of the stuff from the Switch's generation. But ZA, while it was fun, it's a one and done. I do think the game looked pretty decent sometimes, like the Switch 2 edition. There was still a lot left to be desired, but it looked good, or good enough. Now for the Pokemon Presents, if they reveal Generation 10 for the Switch 2, I want to see something promising. I want to see something that looks like it's a next generation Pokemon game. Especially when we see what Game Freak can do when they're not working on a Pokemon game, right? I don't know what the name of that game they're working on is, but that looks incredible. I'm not asking for that in a Pokemon game, but I just want to see some real effort put into this. And I think I remember seeing a report somewhere, or I could just be making this up in my head, saying that they're trying to really improve that next Pokemon game. I probably just made that up in my head because I'm coping so hard right now. But that next Pokemon Presents, I'm actually kind of excited for once. Will we be let down? Probably, but fingers crossed. Now, if we were only getting a partner showcase in February with a Pokemon Presents, all things considered, it's not bad. And that doesn't include like random announcements, shadow drops, whatever, what have you. But there is another rumor going around right now that is just crazy. Because allegedly, what some people are saying is there's going to be a General Direct in February as well. Kind of a crazy claim. So I think I've seen this come from a couple people. Nash Tweedle was one of them. Somebody else on Twitter who actually gets quite a few things right. You know, anybody can make a crazy claim like this, a crazy leak, say this is going to happen. When you have a little bit of credibility like Nash Tweedle and a few other people, when you say stuff like this and it doesn't happen and it's such a wild claim, that kills a lot of your credibility. And if you're a game leaker, like that's your MO, and your credibility is getting killed, that's not something you want to do. So that's one of the few reasons why I'm like, this actually could happen. And with the Switch 2, this generation, I feel like Nintendo's just playing it kind of wild, right? We got a Super Mario Galaxy Direct on a Sunday. We've got a bunch of random announcements over the past couple weeks. Some of these announcements could have been in a first-party Direct, so it seemed like they were clearing some room for that first-party Direct. Why would you be doing that if you didn't have a presentation right around the corner? Like Super Mario Bros. Wonder got an overview trailer, got a release date, they talked about the flower, they showed some amiibos. Any of that could have been in a first-party Direct. They could have held that for like March or something. I think that's when the game is coming out, but they didn't, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like this could happen. Right now, I'm going to be cautious because it's not something I want to get my hope up about, because we really, really need that first party Direct. If some way, somehow it turns out to be true, this is one of the few times I really don't know what to expect, because when you get that like first party Direct, it's obviously not only first party games, there's random third party games, indie games, whatever, but what would they show first party? I feel like we could see a 3D Mario, just the name at least, but I just don't know what they would launch this time of the year. But I mean, I would be open to almost anything because we truly need some information. When was the last time we had a big first party Switch 2 game release? Metroid Prime in December? Or was that the end of November? I'm not saying that wasn't a big game and it was really cool. It's taken a million years to get here, but that has came and went. What are we waiting on now? Pokemon Pokepia in March, which is like, yeah, it's kind of first party, but I feel like that's more Pokemon related. We have the Switch 2 version of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Okay. We have Yoshi's Storybook or whatever the hell it's called. We don't have a release date yet, but I think it said spring. But what are we really waiting on for the Switch 2? So I'll be the first to admit, be very cautious about this rumor because it sounds too good to be true. But I'll be honest, man, we really do need some big information coming from Nintendo. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about today. Just start a conversation down there. And if you truly made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for your time. It means the world to me. You could be anywhere, but you're watching this video. So if you can do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our communities growing. And consider becoming a channel member. That'd be really cool. Early birthday present, whatever. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.